Well, still on major stories that shape the week's headlines, now Kemo Fatty, an environmentalist who also doubles as the founder of Green-Up Gambia, has recently won himself a George H. Bush Points of Light Award. The George Bush Points of Light Awards honors outstanding individuals advancing solutions in ways that demonstrate the extraordinary traits of the U.S. 41st president. Among the traits is integrity, empathy, respect, optimism, among many others, to create positive change. To discuss further on that, we are joined by Kemo Fatty live in our studios. Good morning, Kemo, and welcome to the AM show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, congratulations, Kemo. As a climate change activist, how do you feel winning the Points of Light Award?
Well, mostly we don't see our work as an achievement. Rather, it's seen as a responsibility. Okay. But it's quite motivating that when people are recognizing your activities are having impact on the population, it gives you a moral support psychologically to continue doing what you have to do. Because when you look at the whole entire climate agenda and how the leaders have been treating it at a global sphere, there's nothing much to celebrate in our work. If you look at the Gambia, for instance, we are contributing less than 1% or less than 2% to global carbon emissions. So we are not making a significant difference globally, but the zeal as humanity to advance further is something that is really worth commending. Not only for me, but like I mentioned, this award is a reflection of the activities of young people across the country who have been inspired by the actions that we take. And they are trying every day within their communities to make a difference. So this is how the award makes us, at least encourages us to do. But our work is seen more of the responsibility. Awards or not, we have to keep doing what we're doing rather than seeing it as an achievement.
That's quite awesome. Now take us through some of your major activities as founder of the Green-Up Gambia.
Well, since inception, Green-Up has been engaged in restoration of degraded lands, mostly at the North Bank. Sometime in 2016, we supported farmers with over 10,000 seedlings, mostly economic beneficent trees. These are cashew that can actually have a boost on the farmer's income, as well as having, an impact on land restoration and also acting as a carbon sink. So we are killing 4 to 5 birds with one stone just by using this climate smart agriculture model, which is agroforestry. So Green-Up has been extensively engaged in that, added to taking action, because for us, we classify advocacy to be action and awareness. So mostly we go down to the local farmers as well, the young people within these fairs in schools, and try to propagate these ideas, teaching children how to plant from seed to plant, how to actually grow a tree, how to create their own nurseries. So we are present not only in action, but also raising the eco-consciousness of communities through the various medias that we are having, the Facebook, the WhatsApps, the Twitters. So we have to keep engaging young people and people from different spheres for them to understand, because if they understand, they will take action in their communities. And this is giving us an overall bigger impact. Okay. So this has been our focus over the years.
Okay, let's now take a look at the formation of your organization. It actually started as a project. So take us through, walk us through that journey from the very beginning?
Well, from the very beginning, most of the young people have worked very hard to the attainment of this organization's vision. Some of my colleagues that we've been working with, Omar Malmusambu, one of the winners of the Fatu Network Green Awards, Sekou Suare Jabai, a prominent activist. You have Usainu Gambia, and then we have Maimuna. So all of these people were there in the beginning, Mohammed Al-Amin Jami. So you have a lot of young people who have devoted massive time and energy to the realization of this vision. And still incoming, more and more young people are coming up to take up these responsibilities within this organization. We've been involved in policy advocacy. In fact, we are the first people to make sure that we send a letter to the Ministry of Environment to get them to, look at ways that the Gambia can be part of the carbon pricing leadership coalition. Because we understand that the only way that we can be able to get rid of this pollution and this climate problem is putting a price on carbon. which is one of the most significant components in terms of this whole anthropogenic climate action. So this is the reason why we are present at many fora since the beginning, not only in terms of tree planting and awareness raising, but even going down to getting involved in government's action and making sure that right things are done, bringing state actors and non-state actors to accountability, even at community level. So this has been a collective effort of young people across the world, as we are a national organization. There are representatives from CRR to URR. Last time we were in Basse some time ago at the SOS Children's Villages planting trees there. So we have regional coordinators within this frame. So it's not just Kemo as in the founder. This is a movement and a collective effort of young people.
Quite phenomenal there. Now your organization also focuses on deforestation and land degradation, which works towards enhancing proper farming practices and so on. So why is sensitization critical in this crusade?
Well, when more people know, you can be able to consolidate concerted efforts. But once someone is planting a tree and not getting to understand why is it that I am planting this tree, it becomes really a very serious thing. So with awareness comes a drive that comes from you inside. Instead of being very reactive, rather than, like, for instance, it took certain developed countries about 50 years for people to understand where they can sort their waste materials. So if we have to do it here, it might take us quite some time because we are at a very reactive stage. You know, some people will throw and later on realize that, oh, this is against the anti-littering regulation, and then they will just go and pick it up and throw it, or some don't even care at all. But once we are able to sensitize the mindset, their thinking changes, it becomes something that is not just proactive, but in a generative stage. Naturally, when somebody drinks from a can, he will understand that I'm not supposed to just throw this anywhere. So he will then, you know, try to do this. It will naturally come in. And this way is the only way to achieve impact and continuity. So these are the things that are crucial when it comes to raising the awareness of the people. Without awareness, there can be no work done.
Certain. Now, to the challenges now, what are some of them?
Well, challenges mostly are breaking the stereotypes that people have. It might be very difficult sometimes when you are in the field out there and speaking to the farmers and you want to get them this new knowledge or this new idea. They will tell you in Mandinka, I will have to say this, hey, Kemo Brimo Wulu. Since we were not born.
That are quite obvious.
So at the end of the day, you know, it will be very difficult. Although now it's changing, the mindset is changing. We are able to easily have technology transfer to these farmers. They are able to understand, and there are demonstration plots where we are showing this. So they're seeing the impact firsthand. Now they're accepting it. That's just one of the challenges. Another challenge is with the issue of having to scale up. Because we don't depend on aid to take action. You know, we do not plan with what we don't have. So our aim is that we do what we can within our means. I believe in a thousand-man action than a billion-dollar plan. So since I do not have $1 billion, I have to take 1,000 man, which is available and which, of course, we can be able to make an impact. But when we plan for something we can't pay for, we will end up being sitting and waiting for someone to actually deliver these resources for us to take action, in as much as they are crucial. And pending the fact that the Gambia is not contributing much to climate change, and we have these developed countries that are polluting, they should pay. There is a principle called the polluter pays. So if we are trying, if they are, because climate change doesn't know any border, you know, so the pollutions they are doing out there in these developed countries is affecting our climate also. So therefore, they need to look at, if we say, okay, there is a Paris Agreement where the whole country, we all need to follow this ambitious target, you find out that we are taking resources from our state coffers, spending it on climate issues that potentially are not, that is not necessarily created by us. And what we should be spending in terms of poverty reduction, we are now spending it in climate. So, hey, why are we giving, why should we spend our national budget yet on these climate issues. We are not the one causing it. So these are some of the valid arguments that some of these major polluters need to understand, and that they have taken the livelihood away from the people of sub-Saharan Africa. You know, everywhere you go, people are complaining about climate problem. We want to keep warming below 1.5. For us, that is not our race. Our race is against water. We have 3 months. So the farmers don't have enough growing and maturation period. So what they do is to be in that helter-skelter of early planting, early warning system, running here and there, rains are not coming. So it has become something that is robbing of us our dignity.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Now, still on